The last thing you remember is the storm. Waves the size of buildings, a ship breaking apart beneath you, and then the black water swallowing everything as you cling to a piece of wreckage. And then nothing. You wake up face down on a beach, half alive, the waves still lapping at your feet. You made it, but when you stand up and look around, your heart sinks. Nothing but empty sand, endless ocean, and a deserted island. You're completely alone. Panic hits first. You tear through the debris washed up on the shore, searching for anything, anyone, any way out. And then the brutal reality sets in. Under the burning sun, your throat goes dry, and you realize you could die here. That first night is the worst. You huddle in the dark, shivering, jumping at every strange sound from the jungle, more afraid than you've ever been. But when the sun rises, you force yourself to move. You push into the jungle, and you find it, fresh water, a stream, and you drink like you've never drunk before. Your first victory. Then comes the hardest one. For hours you rub sticks together, desperate, until finally, a spark, then smoke, then flame. Fire. You've got fire. And in that moment, alone on that beach, you feel like you've conquered the world. Now you start to survive. You build a crude shelter from palm leaves and branches. You sharpen a stick into a spear and wade into the shallows. And after countless tries, you spear your first fish, real food. You climb the palm trees for coconuts. And that night, you cook your catch over your own fire, and for the first time, you eat well. But there's an enemy out here that no spear can fight. The loneliness. You sit by your fire, staring into the flames, and the silence is crushing. You carve marks into a tree to count the days, and they keep adding up. You start talking to a face you drew on a coconut, just to hear a voice, because a person can only be alone for so long. To keep your mind alive, you explore, pushing deep into the jungle, and you climb to the island's highest peak, and finally see the truth. You're on a tiny speck of land in an endless ocean. But you don't break. You get better. You build a real shelter, sturdy and strong. Your camp becomes organized, fish drying, coconuts stored, tools ready. You hunt and fish like an expert now. You're not just surviving anymore, you're thriving. But the island tests you. A violent storm rips through, and you fight all night to save everything you built. The next morning, your camp is wrecked and you're exhausted, but you rebuild because that's what you do now. You face down a wild animal with nothing but your spear. And through it all, something shifts. You sit on the beach at sunset, and you realize you've made peace with this place. It's become your home. But you never stop hoping. You build a massive signal fire and an SOS in the sand. You send messages out in bottles. And once, a ship appears on the horizon. You scream and wave, but it doesn't see you, and it sails away, and it nearly destroys you. Still, night after night by your fire, you refuse to give up. And then, one day it happens. A ship on the horizon. A real one. This time you don't hesitate. You light that signal fire, you wave your arms, you scream with everything you have left. And they see you. The boat turns toward the island, and you drop to your knees, tears streaming, because after everything, you're saved. They pull you aboard, wrap you in a blanket, and as the boat pulls away, you look back at that island shrinking in the distance. The place that nearly killed you, and the place that made you who you are now. And then you're home, back with the people you thought you'd never see again. Terrified survivor, desperate scavenger, firemaker, hunter, master of the island, rescued. From a helpless castaway washed up on the sand to someone who conquered a deserted island and made it home. You survived the impossible, and you learned just how strong you really are. If this one pulled you in, do me a favor, hit that like, and tell me down in the comments what you thought. And if there's a life you want to see next, drop it below. The next one might just be the one you pick. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.